Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Crabby Morning. My name is Dylan, and I am joined with
Kayla,
Chad,
and Leon,
and Grace,
and Adriana.
And we are going to be talking about aliens and life beyond Earth. So, would anyone want to start us off on this topic today?
I would like to say something about aliens.
And I would like to say something as well.
All right, go ahead.
No, you go first.
Okay, all right. So, what I wanted to ask about aliens is, what do you think is life beyond Earth? What possible way do you think is? I'm having a brain melt here.
Is life beyond Earth possible?
Yes.
Is that what you're trying
English
to ask?
Major.
Yes, sir.
If so, what shape or form do you think it would take?
I think that most likely to me it would be that aliens are, if any at all, they would be probably starting off life just like humans were like a long time ago, and maybe they're still advancing and evolving. And it is very possible because like there are other suns that technically, if planets were at a certain range away from it, then they could sustain life that way. I have heard stories that there possibly is bacteria on Mars, which
I heard about that too.
Yeah, in technicality, that could mean that there are like that. I guess those could be considered aliens in a way, since they're like from another planet. But what do you guys think? Anyway,
I think there is very, 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 very... It's just very suspicious that there are all these planets out there, and all these galaxies, and we're the only ones.
Mm-hmm.
Quote unquote the only one.
That's where I call bogus, because when some people are like, there's no way life is just us. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
There's so much space out there.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended. But it's just the fact that it is space. You don't know what's out there.
Mm-hmm.
There could be aliens, other life forms. There could not be. And so that brings me to a thing I read talking about different theories of life. One is there is life. Another is there isn't any life out there. It's just us. And another is where they're so far advanced they just don't even see us as anything interesting at all to even contact it.
Yeah. I think that the universe is too vast for there to not be any life other than us, but the question is, what type would that be, like we've been discussing? Because there's a range of different theories that could all be plausible, but I think we still need to evolve our technology for us to know for sure either other way what type of life there would be out there, if any at all.
Well, I think the reason why we don't see anything is because, alien, we make up this image of, this one, small little body with like two eyes and it's all green. Like we can't find anything with that. Bacteria could lead to anything. How bacteria could lead to diseases or parasitic worms or stuff like that, and it keeps growing and growing, and once like evolving into something huge like us. And it's kind of like it takes time for something to form, so maybe it's in its beginning stages of like hi, this is me, y'all. Like just like the bacteria on Mars or just anywhere, and we're creating this one-way thinking of, oh, it must be like a certain height, it must be a certain color, it must be a certain eye shape similar to like humans. Like no, it could literally be like the smallest thing and you can't see it, but it's still there.
Yeah.
And we're also supposing that we're basing how life exists on our conditions for life, like how we can exist. Like we need oxygen, for example. But maybe there was a time when our atmosphere was very different, for example, and other life forms existed with that atmosphere. So maybe on different planets there could be life just with different atmosphere.
It's funny that you bring that up because I was going to talk about that. And Dylan, you brought that up earlier about how you have to have a certain space between the planet and the sun to sustain perfect life for the human race.
Mm-hmm.
And one planet could not be habitable for us, but it could be habitable for a different form of life.
Mm-hmm.
There's a planet that I read it on a NASA article. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but they were talking about a Earth-like planet, which is 4 times the size of Earth, and it has like the same qualities and quantities of life for everyone to live on. And so that got me thinking. I'm like, what could be on that planet?
So that's a good question. It's funny because whenever I think about that, I always think about the movie After Earth, where like they move away from the Earth for like a very long time, then they end up going back, and then like everything's evolved to become more efficient at like killing things.
Just like how we evolve, we adapt to certain situations, and that just eventually changes our lifestyle, changes the entire living conditions.
Right.
Some people don't believe in climate change, but it's happening.
Well,
yeah.
Evolution, we do it in a way in our lifespan, how you evolve in a way. So what I mean by that is, say, all right, let's start from the beginning. You're in kindergarten, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're learning, you're evolving your brain, and you develop skills, and you evolve those skills further. But there's 2 different types of evolution: yourself and genetics.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, it changes, and it's slowly happening because one thing that they've noticed is not a lot of people are born with wisdom teeth now.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just, our mouths are becoming smaller or something like that.
Yeah, a lot of people are born with like 6, and that is slowly going down. Like 4 is the average, and I only have 3, by the way. So I guess I'm like an example of that.
Yeah, I think that's a product of Punnett squares and talking about dominant genes and recessive genes, where like the reason that certain animals would evolve certain features was because the recessive gene sometimes takes over, and whatever offspring comes from the person born with more of a recessive gene is going to bred more of those kinds of animals. Like for example, take like a bunch of white wolves, and then there's like the one that just happens to have black fur instead of white fur.
Yes.
Then they would be the one with the recessive genes, and if the black wolf has offspring, then they have a chance of carrying that recessive gene. Not all the time, but it's possible.
Or they can combine and make gray,
Right. I think Charles Darwin himself was studying birds.
Wait a second. What are we talking about?
We're talking about how aliens can evolve. How aliens could evolve on different planets.
Okay.
Do you follow me?
We're just explaining like from like the most basic form to how it
life,
just like
life could
slowly
go on
comes
other
up.
planets.
Yes.
Yeah, saying how just like humans could evolve or other animals could evolve, how aliens on other planets could evolve as well. Do you know what I'm saying, John?
Yeah, I know what you're
Where
saying.
you're just using examples like, oh, this animal has this gene and the other one has a different.
How we're just theorizing how it would compare to us, like evolving and then just
Living.
nonsense of what a theoretical planet would be.
Kayla, do you believe that it is possible for animals that we've never seen before on other planets to evolve the same way as us?
It's possible, but I don't think they would evolve the exact same way as us.
What do you mean by that?
That's a good question.
Like they would have different features.
Like different features. Yeah, they're quote unquote aliens.
Mm-hmm.
So which my thing is, if there's tons of space and other planets in space that supposedly don't have any life on them that we know of,
Mm-hmm.
what if us as humans destroy the Earth beyond repair, and then we decide to travel to other planets to try to inhabit? Would we be considered aliens if there was
Yes.
life on that planet?
Yes. In technicality, we ourselves are aliens because if one day we take a spaceship to a planet that we've never been to before, and then there's actual life on there that is intelligent like us and see us coming down, that would be very similar to like how we generalize like a flying saucer to come down and like watch over us. I mean, they'd feel the exact same way that we would. That we would. Yes, that's
Yeah, they
what I was
probably
trying
shoot
to
it
say.
down. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, they probably would. That's that's the thing. Yeah.
So that's crazy that you bring up spaceship and flight.
Yeah.
Because in 2025, there's going to be a space mission to Mars, and we will all be alive to see it. What do you guys think about that?
I just think it's crazy that we're gonna be so young.
We're gonna be 20 that year when, or 19.
my
It depends
gosh.
on when they're doing it.
I think they set it for fall.
Okay, then I'll be 20, and here we go, turn of the century events happening at such a young age. I think it's cool because I get to live to see more and more, and maybe one day live to see that other people are on Mars and colonizing Mars just like they do here, and just using materials and tools that we would never see now.
It's only going to go up from here. Once, hopefully, it goes right and they can safely land on Mars, because it's a 8-month-long trip.
Yeah, I don't think they want to bring like 100 people. I feel like there should
No,
just
it's only going to be like
a
a crew of,
yeah.
I think, 5 people.
Yeah, just like, oh, welcome aboard. Let's hope we make it.
Yeah. But man, I envy them, the astronauts that get to go to Mars. That has always been my dream, to go to another planet.
Mm-hmm.
Or just envy them, just like getting out of the atmosphere of Earth and just seeing like a void, like, and stars and planets in the distance and the sun blaring. Well, obviously not looking directly at the sun,
Yeah,
but
don't
you
look
could
at
like,
the sun.
but
Yeah.
you could not see it, but you could see the light. But
Yeah.
it's you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's just like you get to like leave this floating rock, and there's more than just a floating rock. And it's pretty cool because all we see is grass and trees and water and dirt and sand and whatever comes up next, and just like there's more to this than just this large circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mars looks like the Mojave Desert. It just looks barren. But how you said earlier, Dylan, is there's ice caps at the North and South Pole.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that one of their missions eventually is to go there and extract the ice, to observe it, to see if there's any organisms in the water.
Mm.
Speaking of space
Yaha?
and UFOs and
Yes.
spaceships,
Yaha?
what do you think of the accounts of seeing a UFO or a spaceship on Earth?
I have a story about that, because I had seen a spaceship, or what I thought to be a spaceship. So I was sitting in my driveway, and there's a cow field behind it, and my friend and I were just talking, facing towards my house, and all of a sudden there's like this bright white light that floats up from the cow field and then just disappears.
I feel like they like it because our sister Margot was talking about how they've seen a UFO before when they were walking back to the house at night with like 3 like lights in a triangular position, and it just disappeared after that.
Like it looked sort of like a flashlight, but it was like brighter, and it was just like levitating, and then just turned off. And I, to this day, I have no idea what it was, but a UFO doesn't always mean aliens, unidentified flying objects. That's what it is. But deep down in my heart, I want to believe it was an alien.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would make the story cooler.
It'd make it. I mean, I would go with it because it's like everything. Aliens are still the unexplained. It's the unexplained part of like life and universe. So we really don't know, but I'm pretty sure there is life. Like I'm not gonna doubt that because we still have like organisms like everywhere, even in in the
for sure.
You can't see them, but under a microscope you can. It's just so we don't have the parts to extract it or test it. We don't really have a lot of testing stuff like for that.
So Kayla, you were gonna say something?
So, funny thought / story. So I'm gonna start off by saying, what if aliens are already on Earth, right?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Who remembers that Storm Area 51 thing that happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like right when school started or something.
Yeah.
But what if the military actually are hiding aliens?
Well, I mean,
Then I guess those people were the closest to him.
Yeah.
well, I mean, I'm not gonna deny that the government's gonna hide everything because they don't want to like.
They're cowards.
Yeah, I guess they really care about stuff like that. I mean, they really don't. But
You know what?
I don't understand why they would hide something that we
Well,
literally
I
already
mean,
know about.
I understand why they would hide it because a lot of people would freak out and then it'd cause a very big mess.
Did you know when War of Worlds came out, people thought it was true and people started freaking out as well?
Yeah, that's because of there was a radio broadcaster that was reading it, but people didn't know that he was reading a story, so they thought that he was actually reading the news.
Oh.
And so people freaked out about it for like a night.
Anyways, what about the accounts of actual human encounters?
Oh, where people said they've like been face to face to aliens.
Yes.
I think those are kind of I don't know. I feel like a lot of those are just made up because people will bandwagon off of that and try to be like, oh, I was abducted by an alien on such and such date, and
Dylan and I watched a documentary of this guy, and he had been abducted a couple of times because he was special.
I think you've shown me that video.
Yeah, and then basically what they do in a lot of these accounts include either the man or woman being abducted into the space, and then
probing,
mate with an alien.
Oh.
And then let go, and if it's a woman, they are retrieved later to extract the fetus a few weeks later. And if it's a guy, then they are either visited regularly, or if they are told later on a later date of their alien child by the alien and abducted again to see their alien child.
I think there's some kind of drug that they're using because
Yeah.
it just seems like a repeat of like drugs. Like you gotta be on something a little bit strong to think like that, to like hallucinate like that.
I need to add to John's story and say that when I watched it with him, that's not even the worst thing that happened. You didn't even mention the part where like he had he claimed that he had an alien daughter, and that the daughter would like visit him sometimes, like she would be like kind of like a stranger that would just be watching him. And he said that one time he was at a party and the alien daughter was like outside, and he like managed to take a picture of him, but when he tried to show his friends, then the picture was gone.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
No
I know. That's what he said. That's what he tried to say.
Some schizophrenia flavor.
Here,
Yeah, it was
here's
weird.
A question for everyone here: Do you think it would be possible for us to coexist with aliens? If they were here now, would you think it'd be possible?
Yes.
That highly depends on how both aliens react and the humans react, because I know at least one person is going to shoot at the aliens. And I know that you said that too, Leon.
Well, like what
Yeah.
kind of aliens? Because we don't know the form. We don't know
Exactly.
a lot of stuff. So I say yes because even though
I'm going off of Star Wars and Star Trek. Two different things, I know, but like I don't know. Or I hope it is not xenomorphs from aliens. I hope it's not, because that would be terrifying.
Or the, what was that movie called? Independence Day?
Yeah.
I hope not.
No.
I hope
Okay. No. I don't think it would work.
No.
It would not work. They would try. The aliens would try,
and we would be the ones
and then
killing.
we as the human race would ruin it.
Yes.
They would extend a hand and we'd spit in their eye and be like, "Don't touch us."
Yes.
I mean, I feel like the minority of humans would be like, helpful, but then like the majority would like get us all killed, and then
Yeah.
it depends on what they are though. But I feel like we would not have a good reaction to them if they were like large and big and just like what you said, like what you're thinking of, Liam.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll take them really kindly.
So, all right. I heard the thoughts on Grace and Dylan. So, Kayla and John, what do you think? Do you think it'd be possible to
No.
coexist?
No.
Why do you say that?
Basically, what you guys been saying, that humans, it's gonna take one guy, just that one guy to mess it up.
I want to be optimistic and say that it could work out, but deep in my heart, I know it wouldn't.
There's going to be a guy, like, just standing somewhere talking to his friend, and then there's just an alien, like, ship over him, and he's just going to shoot at it. Somebody's going to be in that situation where there's
I
just...
feel like our military is going to be the first one to do that, and it's going to start something if that's the case.
That's possible, too. That is possible.
Because they're like, oh my god, what is this? And then they shoot at it, and then, like, they shoot back or whatever if it ever happens, and then it's just going to turn into some kind of war, and I'm like, can
A
we
Star
not?
War.
The beginning of
No.
Star Wars.
No. If the military starts making lightsabers, I don't know what I'm going to do.
So, John, what do you think? Do you think life could coexist with aliens, we as the human race?
Yes, but it would take the collective effort of the whole entire world, and if we as humans can't even agree altogether, how are we going to agree with another race of humans as a whole, a collective group? Because it's going to be people, not just people in America that would have to fit these aliens into the world,
It would
but
be the
everybody in
planet.
the whole entire world that would have to
I feel like a lot of
collectively
big countries would.
come up with a plan to do this, and I'm not sure that we as humans could work together enough to make that happen.
I
Yeah.
like the point you made, John. I
True.
think that was good.
But
Oh,
in that movie that we watched, the Independence Day one, the whole movie was about being collectively able to deal with the aliens. But that was because aliens were already a threat and they were trying to kill everyone. However, maybe. I don't know.
I feel like we treat something as a threat, like before it even threatens us, We
Yeah.
always have our guards up for a reason, but not for like a, I guess, necessary reason or a smart reason, because it's like they're not always gonna attack you unless you
Yeah.
do something, or if they feel threatened, then they're gonna attack you, but they haven't done that yet, or they haven't done anything yet, so it's kind of just like, just see what happens,
Yeah. People don't really stop to think about things that they don't understand. Like, people would see an alien and immediately think it is a threat when it probably wouldn't always be that way. But I think that's for some people, that's like their first thought. It's like, oh no, this thing's about to attack me. I need to shoot back at it.
Yeah, like
You know.
the instinct mode turns on. Just
Mm-hmm. I did want to ask a question out of fun,
okay.
and I wanted to ask, what would you do in the event of an alien invasion? So
I would join their side.
join their side.
Join their side. They would win.
So picture this: you wake up in the morning, you get out of your bed, you open the window, and there's a spaceship. And I'm talking about like the generalized the Greys type of aliens with like the saucers and everything. What would you do in that 24-hour period for the whole day?
I would hunt them down and try to join them. Like I said, I would.
Liam, with what means would you be able to communicate with these gray aliens enough to the point where you would tell them, I want to join
I would
you.
draw pictures. I would be like, thumbs up. Yeah, let me.
Thumbs up, which means yes in...
I would play charades. I would do everything I could to try to join their side.
How do you know that thumbs up means yes to them?
I'll be taking a risk.
And how do you know that they even want you on their side? You never know.
I could cook up some good food. You know, I could do my part.
What if they don't eat human food?
You know, I could figure it out. You know,
share it. You know, share. You know.
You know, like
Here you
when
go.
John said about that guy, you can be their next like donor.
No.
Oh.
That's how you join their side. You help them procreate.
No.
What would the rest of you guys respond when prompted with that question?
Well, I mean, an alien invasion, they already got me, so
Yeah,
kind of
pretty
like
much.
I really got no choice but
Like
you
to
know.
defend yourself, pretty much.
I'm not gonna defend myself. I'm like, you know, weaponless. You know, I'm not that strong anyway, so that's not gonna even. I'm not even gonna go for it if I try to defend myself. So you know, just take it how it is, and try to communicate to them as best as I can, like Liam, and just you know. Be calm about it as best as I can, even though I'll be panicking on the inside because I will not see the light of day on this earth ever again. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know where they're going to take me, but I just...
Instantly incinerate the planet.
Well, at least they're saving me, you know. At least I'm not going to be exploded.
Yeah, I'll be on the kitchen whipping it up. I don't know what they're gonna eat, but I'll try.
Maybe
Fight
it's
back.
healthy food.
Oh, I fight back too. I'll kick the foods.
They're like that monster book from Harry Potter.
Oh no.
What about you, Kayla?
I guess I'm joining their side however I can.
You would join? You would...
I mean, honestly, Dylan, an alien invasion, who do you think is gonna win, honestly?
It'd be
Okay,
like
but like
If
I
you
would...
wake up in the morning and you are like defenseless and they come like
giant Independence Day spaceship.
Well, but hear me out. Even if like I know that I would be doomed, I would still try. Like
Okay.
try to do something.
You
Like
would
I don't
try
know.
and fail.
Like maybe I will find like somewhere underground to hide out in. I'll find some
So
weapons.
they're over your house currently with a huge spaceship and they're like beaming lasers through your house and they just open up the house a little bit and you're gonna try to go underground. Are you gonna bring a shovel with you? And
I'll-
like okay, I
I'll-
guess they'll be like, okay, I'll give you some time.
I'm gonna
Okay.
jump out the house. I'm gonna run down the street.
Okay.
I'm gonna find another house. Hopefully hide from
John's
them.
house.
I'm just gonna keep jumping out of houses if they keep sucking the houses up.
But what if they have like thermal cameras?
Then I'm gonna zigzag so that I can find the lasers.
Like the Matrix.
I'm just gonna matrix the aliens who are 1,000 years beyond our technology. You're gonna dodge it, and then the laser's gonna hit you. And you're like trying to matrix the laser, and then it's just gonna come back and hit you.
I'm running.
Matrix.
Knowledge,
Oh my gosh.
knowledge 101.
John, what would you do in an alien invasion?
Get some snacks.
Get some
Then
snacks.
when I'm abducted or killed, then it is what it is. And then I say, okay,
Would you get your last cereal in a cup, John?
you would, if I could find some good cereal, yes.
What if they had like Fruit Loops or Cheerios or
Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch or Frosted Flakes or Apple Jacks or those corn pops, bro. I
Yeah.
love those
So,
corn
John,
pops.
You get your last cup of cereal.
Of your choice.
That sounds like a great way to go.
Yeah.
I'd probably bring Scrappy with me. if
No.
that's
Oh. Okay. Unless he's unharmed, then he's good. We will not
All
harm
right.
Scrappy.
Well, thank you guys so much for y'all's responses.
No, thank you, Dylan.
That you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I think I'm going to finish off the episode with the question of the day. The question of the day is, what is your stance on life outside of the Earth? And what is something you want aliens to know about us? Thank you guys so much.
Crabby Morning.
Thank you guys so much as always. Like and subscribe, and have a crabby morning.
More like Crabby Evening.